Rain lashed against the high-rise glass towers of Mahangarh, turning streets into mirrors of neon and chaos. Cars honked, sirens wailed, and amidst the noise of the city that never slept, there was a pulse of fear. A man ran, panting, desperate, through a dimly lit alley. His breath fogged in the cold night air, his shoes splashing dirty puddles. Behind him came the hiss, low, terrifying, unmistakable. He stumbled, crashed into a wall, and turned. From the darkness, a figure emerged. Green suit clinging to a muscular frame, eyes glowing like molten gold, hundreds of serpents slithering across his body. Nagraj, the man whispered in terror. You sold weapons to those who prey on children. Nagraj's voice was cold, almost reptilian. Justice is not blind tonight. The man screamed as snakes leapt from Nagraj's arms, wrapping around him like chains of doom. The sound of hissing drowned his cries, and within seconds, silence claimed the alley. High above, on a rooftop, Nagraj stood against the rain, his mind torn. Justice or vengeance? Where was the line? The city saw him as a savior, but shadows whispered another name, monster. And in that storm, a darker plan was already unfolding. Deep beneath the city, in a bunker lit by screens and red alarms, a man with a scarred face slammed his fist on a metal table. His name, Kaal Yogi, a former scientist turned mercenary, obsessed with power beyond science, power that fused the occult with weapons. Every empire fears its serpent, Kaal Yogi muttered. And this city boasts to one. He looked at the photos pinned on the wall, Nagraj striking down cartels, burning drug labs, rescuing innocents. A woman entered. Tall, sharp-eyed, dressed in black leather. The syndicate is restless. They say Nagraj is untouchable. Kaal Yogi smiled wickedly. Even serpents bleed. We won't fight him in the shadows, we'll drag him into the light. On the table lay a vial, glowing with venom harvested from hybrid serpents, a toxin designed not to kill instantly, but to corrupt, to break control. Release phase 1, he ordered. If Nagraj is justice, we'll make the city question his justice. And when people see him as a curse, he will fall. The woman's lips curved into a cruel smile. And the city will need a new savior. Exactly, Kaal Yogi whispered. Me. The next morning, the city woke to horror. News anchors shouted over flashing images, children convulsing in hospitals, slum dwellers coughing blood, entire neighborhoods poisoned. Authorities suspect a mass contamination of water supplies. But whispers spread faster than truth. Snakes in the water. Nagraj's venom. Crowds gathered, furious, breaking into riots. Police fired into the air, unable to calm the rage. Atop the chaos, Kaal Yogi's agents spread footage, grainy clips of snakes slithering through drains, edited to look like Nagraj's doing. That night, when Nagraj descended into the infected district, instead of gratitude, he was met with stones. Get out! You poisoned us! Monster! Nagraj caught a rock midair. The crowd's faces blurred in anger and pain. His voice cracked, I didn't. I would never harm you. But fear is louder than truth. They screamed louder, closing in. From a rooftop, hidden cameras recorded everything, Nagraj standing against those he swore to protect. In the shadows, Kaal Yogi watched. Perfect. Let the serpent choke on his own venom. In his underground lair, Nagraj tore off his mask, his body trembling. Snakes slithered restlessly across his skin, reacting to his turmoil. I fight for them, and they hate me, he whispered to himself. What if they're right? What if I am poison? His mentor, Baba Gorkhanath, entered silently, his calm presence cutting through the storm. Doubt is a venom more dangerous than any toxin. Remember, justice is not about being loved, it's about doing what must be done. Nagraj's fists clenched. But if justice is twisted into fear, then what am I? Gorkhanath placed a hand on his shoulder. A warrior does not choose the battlefield. He chooses the cause. Your cause is still pure, even if the world refuses to see it. But even as those words sunk into his heart, the snakes on his body recoiled violently, hissing in unison. His veins darkened. The hybrid toxin had entered his system. Through the walls, a mocking voice echoed, carried through hidden speakers. Justice tastes bitter, doesn't it, serpent? How long before you consume yourself? Kaal Yogi's laugh filled the lair, leaving Nagraj on his knees, fighting not just the city, but his own blood. Nagraj's body writhed in agony as the toxin spread, making him hallucinate. He saw streets drowning in snakes, innocents turning into monsters, his own hands strangling the weak. But rage anchored him. He slammed his fists into the ground, forcing the venomous snakes out of his body in a storm of hissing fury. They exploded into ashes, burning from his willpower. I am not your weapon, Yogi, he growled, standing tall, eyes blazing. I am justice. The hunt began. Through sewers, across skyscrapers, Nagraj tracked the syndicate one by one, tearing through their defenses with brutal precision. Bullets bounced off his scales, venom spat through the air, snakes infiltrated machines and fried circuits. Finally, he stormed the bunker. Kaal Yogi awaited him, armored, wielding a staff pulsing with serpentine energy. The woman in black drew twin blades, circling like a predator. Welcome, serpent, Yogi sneered. Tonight, the world will watch your fall. Screens flickered, broadcasting live. Cameras streamed the battle to the entire city. Every strike, every scream, meant to show Nagraj as a beast. But Nagraj didn't falter. His voice thundered, you poisoned children, manipulated the innocent, twisted fear into your weapon. Tonight, they will see who the real monster is. The lair erupted in chaos. Snakes clashed against machines, sparks lit the darkness, the ground shook. The fight had become not just survival, it was Judgment Day. The duel was savage. The woman's blades slashed, Yogi's staff crackled with venomous energy, and Nagraj countered with speed and fury. Snakes exploded from his chest, forming shields, striking like bullets. But Yogi had planned this. His staff pulsed, drawing snakes away, corrupting them. You are not justice, Yogi spat. You are chaos. And chaos must be caged. He hurled a wave of corrupted serpents. For a moment, it looked as if Nagraj would drown. But then he closed his eyes. He heard the voices, not of fear, but of the innocent he had saved over the years. A child whispering, you saved me. A woman crying, because of you, my family lives. A city once in darkness, finding light. His heart surged. His snakes returned, breaking free of Yogi's corruption, striking with divine force. In one final leap, Nagraj drove his fist through the staff, shattering it into shards. The bunker collapsed. Flames roared, concrete fell. Nagraj dragged Yogi to the surface, throwing him before the mob that once hated him. Here is your true poison, he shouted. The one who fed on your fear. The crowd stared, confused, shaken, then slowly, realization dawned. The cries of anger turned into silence, then into chants. Nagraj! Nagraj! Yogi screamed as police dragged him away. Nagraj stood, rain washing blood from his face, the city's reflection in his eyes. He didn't smile. He didn't celebrate. He only whispered to himself. Justice isn't about glory, it's about the scars we carry so others don't have to. The storm passed. The city slept. And from the shadows, the serpent watched, ever vigilant, knowing that true justice was never over, it only waited for the next battle. If you like the story, then subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.